There are a lot of people out there saying it is impossible for Bitcoin to get to 100K. And if they hear my prediction of 225K, they bust out laughing. But who is the joke actually on here? Today, we're going to determine once and for all whether the bulls or the bears will be laughing after the halving. While everyone is arguing over whether or not the Bitcoin price is baked in to the current price, I've been hard at work researching trends, old articles, and price predictions to deliver the truth. Let's get it. Hello and welcome to BitBoy Crypto, your one-stop shop for all things related to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I make videos on this channel almost every single day, lately twice per day. If you like what you hear or see, then please make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell to turn on notifications. If you would like to take the conversation even further, please make sure to join my Telegram group, the Bit Squad. Also, a little later, I'm going to tell you guys how you can win some free Bitcoin for something that will take you only about 10 seconds. So, all right, guys, today we are going to be taking a look at the halving and whether or not Bitcoin will actually go to 100K or more during this bull run. There are a lot of negative Nancy's out there saying that the price isn't going to budge. And I get real tired of those people. There is nothing, and let me repeat that, nothing to suggest that Bitcoin is not going to go on another epic bull run spurred on by, you guessed it, the halving. So earlier today, I was on Twitter and I made a bullish tweet. They're good for engagement, but you guys know me, I'm mega bullish since the beginning of this year. I wasn't making moon content all of last year. I made a few videos and I had some times where I was bullish, but near the end of the year, I certainly wasn't. Also, if you're not following me on Twitter, what the heck are you doing? Please make sure to do that. But I got a reply from a mega bear on this tweet. While I won't give him the clout to show his username on a YouTube video, I will say his exact words were that this was a foolish tweet. And this is the bear sentiment. They believe that if you think Bitcoin is going to rise like it literally always has, that you're a moon boy, which is about equivalent in crypto to calling someone a naive idiot. But here's the thing, the charts are on my side, because who's taking a bigger leap of faith here? Is it me for assuming Bitcoin will do as it always has done? Or is it this guy who says that believing the price of Bitcoin is going to pump is idiotic? This is their argument. The price of Bitcoin's halving is priced in to the current price. But wouldn't you think that if that were the case, the price would be less volatile? And yet we've seen a huge amount of volatility so far in the months leading up to the halving. The main thing that they're leaning on here is that more people know about Bitcoin now, so the halving won't have the same shock value that it's had during previous cycles. Hello, who do you think the whales are? Do you believe that the whales are big money investors who just stumbled into Bitcoin? No. The largest group of Bitcoin whales are early miners. Chainalysis has done many studies on this. So you're telling me miners had no idea the last halving was coming? Miners make up 33% of all Bitcoin addresses that hold over 12,000 BTC. And guess what? They were very aware of the last halving before it happened. Yes, more retail investors know what the halving is at this point. But the whales, the ones who really moved the market, weren't surprised by the last halving. Now, speaking of the last halving, I got curious. What were people saying back then between 2015 and 2016 before the last cycle? Looking back in retrospect, it's hilarious what people were saying back then. But real quick, before we get to these unbelievably wrong predictions for Bitcoin, I do want to tell you guys about a contest that we are running for my podcast, Beards and Bitcoins. You guys have been awesome with the support of the podcast on the channel. But don't forget, we also have an audio-only version on iTunes and other audio platforms. To help with the podcast, we now have a link you can go to. It's beards.bitboy.live. Go to that link and please rate and review our podcast. If you leave us a review, you'll be entered into a contest, and we're going to pick 5 reviews to read on the show and give you a shout out. And we will send you $20 in Bitcoin. After you leave the review, please make sure to screenshot it and send that to info@beardsandbitcoins.com to enter. So click the link, review the podcast, and forward the screenshot. Thanks a lot, and now let's get back to these idiotic articles that did not age well. The first one is from CoinDesk in 2016. It says about the price. Some forecasted the event would push prices higher, while others expected it to have a depressing effect or no impact at all on Bitcoin prices. Market experts also offered a range of predictions for how the halving will affect Bitcoin volatility. Yeah, it didn't have any effect at all. None whatsoever. We just saw 8,800% returns on Bitcoin. These people, I tell you, these are the same people who will find anything negative to say about anything. Maybe it reminds you of your mother-in-law. Instead of looking for the silver lining, they only want to look at dark clouds. Most of these people, I believe, struggle with depression. But later on in the article, people in the crypto space CoinDesk interviewed said they believed that prices would drop to historical points of support. They believed that Bitcoin would have an epic period of consolidation and decline, but that did not happen. While Bitcoin had a small dip immediately following the halving, that's to be expected, but it never broke out of an uptrend. Oh, but this one right here, this one is my favorite because if this article was not dated in February of 2016, you would swear it was written today. The decline of miners' rewards simply means that the Bitcoin network will begin to generate Bitcoins at a much slower rate. If the demand for Bitcoin remains constant through the year while the supply is cut in half, simple economics dictates that the price should rise until there is a new equilibrium between supply and demand. Whether or not this supply change is already a factor in the price of Bitcoin is a point of disagreement. Some argue that the Bitcoin community has been fully aware of the halving of miners' rewards for a long time and that the actual decline in the supply of Bitcoins will not surprise most Bitcoin enthusiasts and traders in the community. It sounds just like what I'm seeing people writing today. Let me tell you what this is. The people who believe this, they simply don't want to get hurt. A lot of people have been damaged by the bear market. It has been absolutely devastating for many. But now that we are finally on the cusp of Bitcoin fulfilling everyone's hopes and dreams, these people want to protect their hearts. They can't go through one more disappointment. So while this article was written in 2016, the sentiment for those people who don't want to get their hopes up, it remains. Because let me say this again. There is literally nothing in the history of Bitcoin to suggest that we should expect anything other than a parabolic bull cycle. The beauty of Bitcoin lies in the built-in supply and demand mechanism called the halving. No other asset has this. This is why we see Bitcoin pump following its production getting cut in half. The easiest example of this is oil. When oil production in the Middle East is decreased, what happens to the price? It goes up. When they are producing more of it, the price goes down. Yes, Bitcoin production never fully stops, but it is decreased every 4 years. And while the average person certainly did not understand what the halving was in 2016, I got news for you. The average person still doesn't know. They can barely tell you what a Bitcoin is. Now, is there a chance that we break from the norm? Sure, there is a chance. I'm not a fortune teller, but you don't make investments based on them being sure things. There's no such thing as a stock that is guaranteed to go up. But how do the smartest people know exactly where to put their money? It's by using charts. Understanding an asset's history is always the best way to predict its future. And with Bitcoin, it's very clear what the historical chart shows. For the bears to be making arbitrary statements about Bitcoin going down instead of up following the halving, it just shows that they are favoring their personal preference over the charts. And that's a good way to get wrecked. Now it's your turn. Do you believe that the price of Bitcoin is going up or down? Will we see another parabolic bull run? I know I certainly hope so. Drop a comment down below and give me your opinion. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button and hit the subscribe button to become a member of the fastest growing community in crypto, the Bit Squad. Thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed day. BitBoy out.